Then I'll share the file. Students, please remember, we have started JavaScript, and in JavaScript we saw how to embed the JavaScript code in HTML, how to embed, how can we write the JavaScript code within the HTML itself. Okay, that we saw. And then we saw,
Ma'am,
yes.
ma'am, the practicals which are to be submitted, it is for both the batches or just the batch
No,
two?
both the batches. Whenever I post the assignment, it is for both, the whole class, both the batches. Okay.
Ma'am,
Uh,
but we have DM practical from 3:30 to 6.
okay, I know. So, 2 to 3:30, 1.5 hours, both the entire class is going to attend the practical, WP practical. Okay.
Ma'am, but then we will not get any break, no? Like we will have lectures from 2 to 6 directly. And
Uh,
ma'am, our batch is to be considered tomorrow. So why should
sorry,
we?
sorry, what tomorrow? No, I did not get it. What you said
Like
something
ma'am, batch 2 will be tomorrow, no? Batch 1 will be taken tomorrow, no?
day after tomorrow, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So day after tomorrow, I will try to put both the batches together. I should ask to Nimesh sir. See what I'm trying, no, as much as possible. I want to take the practical for entire class. So when I'm getting a chance, I'm using that because we are very back in the syllabus. There are many things should be executed, okay, in this subject. So the 1.5 hours also I don't want to waste. Okay, that's why I call. And tomorrow also, if suppose sir keeps 3:30, day after tomorrow, also sir keeps 3:30, then 1.5 hours the other batch, both the batch will attend the practical. So like that, I'm planning to compensate. Or in between any day, if we get any free slot, and I will keep the practical. Then only we can complete. As per the timetable, if we go, we cannot complete the. You cannot execute and see the practical. I can complete in my side, but you should understand, right? When you can understand, you should execute and see the output. Then only you will understand. So for that, you need time. Okay.
Ma'am, I had a doubt, ma'am.
Yes. 1 second.
Ma'am, why do we have a practical session for different batches at different time, and why can't we have lectures like normal lectures for whole class at one time?
Uh, this is your point of view, students' point of view. You are asking. For us, there should be every subject we have to take these many hours per week. Okay. For example, 21 hours per week. I have to take WP. Okay. So that 21 hours may 6 hours it is compulsory per week to take lecture. More than that, I should not take. Okay. So remaining hours, I have to take the practical batch wise only. Then only the teacher per subject per week 21 hours will get over. When you're attending the physical practical, no, physical offline practical, we have 45 computers laboratory, okay, for UG. So at a time only 45. If we give individual PC, of course, we can accommodate only 45 students per batch. Okay, so we splitted the batch into the entire class into 2 batches. Okay, but now when it is coming into online, of course, we can take the entire batch together. But what will happen, in my point of view, teacher's point of view, per week, suppose today I am taking for entire class the WP practical. Okay, day after tomorrow I can't take because sir has to take. He should also get the practical slot. No. So now see my then I will take only 3 lectures per week for the practical. Okay, that means only one practical session. I have to complete minimum 6 practical session. For that, I have to take two times practical I have to take per week. Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
So, yes.
Ma'am, what I am asking
So
is
ma'am,
that
Tell
what
me.
I'm asking is that you have to take 3 practical lectures for batch 1 and 3 practical lectures different for batch 2. But why can't we take at one time only for both the batches?
This is this question answer only I said. I think you did not get it.
Yes, ma'am.
See, we have practical slot. No, if suppose now I take only one day for the whole class, I will complete only 3 hours, right? Okay. Now in this week, as you said, I am taking only one practical session for entire class. Okay, so in my point of view, I will complete only 3 hours. Okay, if I take batch wise, for example, today first batch and day after tomorrow the other batch, I will complete 6 hours of practical. Okay, getting it? Getting it or not? You may ask, ma'am, why can't you take 3 hours, 3 hours, the whole class? Then the other subject, all the subjects are having practical. No, we don't have a sufficient practical sessions per week. Okay, so
ma'am,
that is not possible. Tell me.
ma'am, but it is exhausting for us, no.
But there are many days you're free, right?
Ma'am, but then still like
Ah,
till 6 o'clock only college and we have
that
to
is
pick
why
up our
I said after this vacation, all the teachers will rush up. You will feel hectic. That's why I asked in the vacation, we can take the lecture. Okay, everybody said that it is better if I did not, if the teachers did not taking the lecture. That's why I decided. Even Sudha ma'am asked, I said no, students want to spend for this vacation, so I'm not taking. Later, I came to know that Kavita ma'am and sir also they are taking. Okay. So if you want to break, morning. What time your lecture started today? Students
11, ma'am.
11. Okay, so now what batch 1 you need a break, so you can't attend the practical, right? WP practical.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So 2 o'clock only batch 2 will join for the WP practical.
Thank you, ma'am. And that assignment we have to upload for both the batches or only for batch 2?
Batch 2 will upload as specified. Tomorrow 11:30 p.m. is the deadline I have given to upload the first the CSS.
Ma'am, we have to continue that. Like first assignment, we have done HTML, so we have to continue that CSS and Java.
Sorry. There is a separate assignment I have created for the CSS. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So we have to create it separately, or we can collab it HTML, CSS, and Java.
No. The first practical, all of you have submitted, right? Okay.
Yes,
So second practical is the CSS, cascading style sheet. For that, a separate assignment I have created, so it should be submitted separately. Okay, you have to create a separate files and it should be uploaded. Okay, one file as one file per student. Okay, but in this you cannot upload in the same link of the first assignment. Separate assignment I have created. In that you have to upload the respective file. Okay. Now as the batch 1 is not going to attend today's practical, batch 1 no need to upload the CSS. Okay, the practical no need to upload. After I completed CSS for batch 2, batch 1 you can upload. Okay, I will extend the timing of the assignment later. Okay, so now only batch 2 will upload the assignment. Okay, for batch 1 I will extend the assignment time. Okay, so after completing the practical you can upload. Is this clear?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Students, are you all seeing the file, Word file?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, a quick recap. In JavaScript, we have completed how to embed JavaScript in HTML. How can we write the JS file separately and then we can embed in a HTML. Okay. And then we saw pop-up boxes, how to create a pop-up boxes in JavaScript. Okay. Alert pop-up box, confirm pop-up box, prompt pop-up box. These boxes we created in JavaScript. Okay. So pop-up boxes, when you trigger some event, for example, when you click a button, the pop-up box will display. Okay. Or when you keep the mouse pointer on a particular place, the pop-up box will be displayed. Okay. So when you trigger any event, a respective pop-up box will be popped up, okay, on the screen. Okay, so this we saw in the JavaScript. Okay, I said JavaScript is an object-oriented client-side scripting language. Object-oriented client-side scripting language. I remember we discussed about the object model. Okay, the advantage of object model over object-based, object-oriented programming model over the procedural programming language like C. The advantage of object-oriented programming languages, everything is inbuilt. Okay, you will, in a procedural language, you will keep each and every programming component as a normal component. Here you will keep as objects. For example, array is a data type. Okay, simply in other procedural languages, array is a data type. But here array we will consider as an object. Integer is an object, number is an object, date is an object. Each and every component, element of a program is an object in object-oriented programming. Why? Then when we consider some element of the programming language as object, we can create many inbuilt predefined methods in it that we can use. Using those inbuilt predefined methods, we can perform the task simply. We can attain the logic very simply. Okay, so that is the advantage of object-oriented programming language. Now, we discussed object. Each and every object. What is object? Any real-time thing can be called an object. Any real-time thing. Okay. For example, table, chair, washing machine, teacher, student, college. All these are what? Any entity you can consider as a object. Then each and every object will have instance of object. For example, when you consider teacher as an object, then Sarojini is one instance of object. Kavita is instance of the teacher object. And Nimesh is an instance of teacher object. So each and every object will have instances. Okay. And like that, each and every object or each and every instance of object have its own methods and the properties. Okay. Methods are actions. For example, currently what the Sarojini teacher is doing, she's teaching. So that's the action. So teaching is a method of Sarojini object. Okay, Sarojini is a derived object instance from the teacher object. Okay. So teaching, if you say method of the object, the method should be a action. Okay. And the property is a characteristics or some what we can say, that is not action, that is a property, that is a characteristics which is inbuilt. For example, when you take Sarojini as a object, then now I'm teaching, that is a method of the Sarojini object. Okay. The height of the Sarojini is a property. The color, the skin color of the Sarojini is a property. Name of the object is a property. Age of the object, the Sarojini object, is a property. Okay. Now, when you consider age, color, skin color, height, weight, all these are not action, method. All these are properties. Okay. So each and every object will have its own methods and properties. Methods are actions, properties are characteristics, which are 3D. Okay. That's it. Now, the object-oriented programming language is a vast concept. Now, I'm not going to explain all those. When you will study Java, not JavaScript, Java in other semester, you will study detailing about the object-oriented programming language, characteristics, advantages of the object-oriented programming language. Okay. Now, when I consider array as an object, in JavaScript, array is an object. Array is actually data type. Okay. But here though, in object-oriented scripting language, each and every element of the program is a object. So in that point of view, array is a object. Okay. Our aim here is we have to see what are the methods we can use under the array object. Methods of array object. Remember, methods are actions. Okay. For example, array may what action may come, what method may come, adding one element, one or more elements at the end of the array. Okay. Adding one or more elements at the end of the array. This could be an action. This could be a method on which object? Array object. Okay. The same way, joining all the array elements, splitting the array elements, removing one particular array element. Okay. Concatenating more than one number of arrays. All these are what actions, methods we can perform on array. Okay. So here array is an object. Concat, join, remove, pop, push, all these are what methods of the array object. Okay. This I'm explaining by considering, assuming you know the basic of array. Okay. You studied the array, about the array in C. Okay. Assuming that I'm saying this. Okay. Okay. Now, simply here in JavaScript, there are many ways you can define array objects. There are many ways you can define array objects. Okay. How the array data type will differ from other data types? Any one of you? What is the array data type? Leave object. Object was here. You are here in JavaScript. You are studying array is an object. But generally, in other programming languages, array is what? Array is a data type. Okay. What is the difference? What is the need of array? Any one of you? What is the need of array? Or what is the advantage of array? Any one of you?
We can store more than one value in single variable.
Yes, more than one number of elements. When we are taking about When we are talking about array, we should say elements or array items. Okay. So more number of elements we can store in a single variable or single object. Okay, very good. So that is ultimate use of the array data type, array variable we can say. Okay. When you see other data types, other variable, other types of variables, you can store only one value at a time. But here more than one number of elements you can store in a single variable. Okay. It is mandatory all the elements should be in a same type in array? No.
Yes.
Okay. No, when we use don't you study about the associative array? Associative array. Okay, we will discuss about that. In associative array, it is not necessary all the elements of a single array should be in a same type. Okay. Okay. So now simply we will see how and all, what are the different ways to define the array in JavaScript. What are the different ways to define definition of the array, defining the array. Okay. Look at this example. This is a one of the ways to define the array, which is very simplest way. Okay. You will write var as a generic data type, and then this is the name which I want to keep for the array variable. This is array variable. Okay. But once you created this, after executed this line, the object-oriented programming language will create or will convert this array1 variable into object. Okay. Then after execution of this, we have to call array1 as object. But generally array1 here, when you are defining at the time of definition, the array1 is called variable. Which variable? Array variable. How I am saying it is array variable? Look at the value which you assigned, elements which you assigned. Within the square bracket, you have given more elements. This is the first element, second element, third element, fourth element. Okay. Okay. So how many elements are there in array1 variable? 4 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the way, this is one of the ways you can define the array in JavaScript. Okay. You know, when you define the array, each and every element will have default index value. Default index value. You will not assign the index value. Default index value each and every array element will have once you assign. Okay. Now John, what is the index value of John? Any one of you? What is the index value of the first element?
A1.
0. 0 is the default index value of the first array element. 0, 1, 2, 3. 0 is the index value of the first element. 1 is the second element. 2 is the third element. 3 is the fourth element. So by default, it will be created. Index value will be created once you created the array. Okay. So 0, index 0 denotes John. Index 1 denotes Susan. Index 2 denotes Paul. Index 3 denotes Alice. Okay. So here what you have to remember, the index value will start with 0. Cannot start with 1. Okay, it will start with 0. Okay. This is one of the ways you can define the array. Look at the second way, second method to define the array. You can define the array like this also. Okay. var array variable name equal to, you are using here array keyword. Array keyword. Okay. When you write array keyword, that means when you follow this method to define the array, you have to write array A capital. Okay, this is predefined. The keyword to define the array should be start with capital A. Okay, so array, look at the bracket, parenthesis. Okay, it's not square. Okay, so John, the element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4 separated by comma. Okay, so this is another method to define the array. There is another method, third method to define the array will be like this. var, some variable name. This variable name going to be object name, remember. Okay, so array 3, this is user defined. Variable name or object name is user defined one. You can write anything. Okay, equal to, look at this new operator. We are using new operator to create array. Okay, new, okay, and then space, and then exactly like the second method, array keyword and array elements, one after another. Okay, these are the three different ways you can define array. Okay, now once you defined the array, one particular element you want to fetch or you want to display, how will you fetch? You will fetch using
Just a doubt. Ma'am, you have used square brackets in the first method and round brackets in second and third. Is it
yes.
important?
Yes, yes, it is important. It is important. You should not change.
So in the first method, we should always use square brackets.
Yes,
and second
yes,
method,
yes, of course.
Okay,
yes.
ma'am. Thank you.
So in the second method or third method, you should not use square brackets.
Okay,
In the
ma'am.
first method, you should not use the this rounded bracket. You should not use.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, is there any specific reason for that bracket? Why do
For
we use
square
different
bracket.
Yes, ma'am.
For the square bracket you can give without using any keyword or any operator. Without using any operator, you can use the square bracket. Okay. But when you use the rounded bracket, you have to, before the bracket, you have to use either the element which holds that should be specified when you use the rounded bracket. That could be here in the second example, it is a keyword, and the third example, it is operator. Okay. But when you write the square bracket, you no need to write anything which is going to hold all these elements. Directly you can write the elements. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now how can we access the access the elements? Okay, element of the array. That is why we have a default index. Okay, to access the array elements, we have index. Okay. Now look at this example. This is not feasible example, just to understand I have created. Okay. So body script. You know, JavaScript should start with the script tag when you write the JavaScript within the HTML. Okay, so script, and then of course the HTML and all will come here. Okay, and here you are creating a variable. Okay, you are assigning this value, so the variable became what? Variable became array variable. Okay, once you assigned the array elements, this variable will be array variable. Okay, and after execution of this line, this variable, array variable, will become object. It will create an object in the name of the variable. Okay, so now currently when you see, the flavor array is a variable, and then by following the first syntax, you are defining the array. Okay, you are giving some elements. You are assigning some elements by following the first syntax, square bracket. Okay, when you use square bracket, everything is combined itself. You no need to write the holder which is going to hold these elements. Okay, so directly in the square bracket you are writing the elements. Okay, now here in this step you have created the array object. You have created the array object. What is the name of the array object which you have created? Flavor array is the array object. What are the elements you assigned in it? Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, orange. These are elements. How many elements? 4 elements. What are the index value of those elements? First element holds 0, second 1, third 2, and fourth one 3. These are our index value of each and every element. Okay. Now, after you defined this array, if you want to display the first element, only one element, like this is actually the syntax to use the index is object name within the square bracket, you will write the index. Okay. What is the object name? You created the object with the name what? Flavor array. So object name within the bracket you will write the index value. So what index value you will write? You will write its respective element, array element will be taken. Okay. Now flavor array of 0 denotes which element? The first element. Okay, which element it is? First element, vanilla. Okay. So this vanilla has index value 0. So where you have written flavor of 0, you have written within the document.write print statement. Okay, document.write flavor of array 0. Here what will be displayed? Vanilla will be displayed. Along with that, you want to display some string. You know, in JavaScript, you can concatenate the string using the plus concatenation symbol. Okay, so plus you put, and what string you want to add is very yummy. Okay. And then the next something else you want to write that in the next line. So you're giving a break here, via. Okay. Students, look at this statement. You need to observe so many things here. Okay. I have created the object. Now I want to display the elements of that object. Okay. Suppose I want to display first element. Anyway, to display, I have to write document.write because that is a print statement in JavaScript. So document.write. What I want to write, what I want to display, I want to display the first array element. Okay, how will you find, how will you identify the first element? Using the array name and within the bracket, square bracket, the index value. Okay. So flavor array 0 denotes vanilla. I don't want to display only vanilla. I want to display vanilla is very yummy. Okay. So how can I write this string along with vanilla? I can use a plus symbol, which is called a concatenation symbol, string concatenator in the JavaScript. So plus, I will join within the double quotes. Within the double quotes, I join is very yummy. Okay. And you know that we can write the HTML tag along with the JavaScript. Okay. The condition is it should be within the double quotes. So I no need to finish the double quotes here. Again for BR, I no need to start another double quotes. Okay. I can start the double quotes here, double quotation, and then I can write the string. Along with that, I can write the HTML BR tag. And I close the string. The termination, statement termination in the JavaScript is semicolon. I put that. And then I want to display the second element. Document.flavorArray1 denotes what? Index value. 1 is the index value of the second element. So the second element will be displayed and then the same. Okay. Of course, if you want to display vanilla is very yummy, chocolate is very yummy, like that, then you even within the for loop also you can use. Okay. But here I have written this example one by one how you will take the element. Suppose you want to first display the first element and then you want to display the third element. Okay. Then you can follow this method. Okay. Randomly, if you want to display a particular element, you can identify the element to display by using index value of the element. Okay. And after I wrote the JavaScript code, I have to close the script tag, and then to close the HTML body, I will close the body tag, and then at last you will close the HTML. Okay. So this is a simple example which shows the first one, not example. The first one I said how you can in different ways, how can you define the array in JavaScript. The third, how we can get through the elements, array elements using index. Okay. But using the index to identify the elements having a disadvantage. When you see 0, you can't say whether the 0 denotes any name, any flavor name, or any person name, user name, or any color, what it is. We know only number, index. Okay. Some meaningful name if we want to give for array element, we can define the element as a associative array. Okay. Associative array. How can you create associative array? First, we'll see what is associative array. Associative arrays gives you a way to label your array item, which means array element keys, instead of them being numbered in the way that array elements are usually numerically indexed by default. This is little confusing. Simply what actually this says is, using the default index value, if you identify the array element, by seeing the array index value, you can't say what would be the element. Okay. 0 denotes what, 1 denotes what, you can't identify using the index. Instead of that, some key which will meaningfully associated with the array element, if you want to create, you can go for associative array. In associative array, look at this example. How will you define the elements like this? var array variable name, and then look at the bracket here, how this is differentiate the associative array with other array. Okay. In the curly braces, you will write the element. Actually, which are elements here? Joe is the element. 24 is the element. 70 inches is the element. Okay. For first element, you are creating a key as user. For the second element, you are creating a key as age. Third element, you are identifying using key height. So user, age, height, these are keys to identify array elements. Keys to identify array elements. In previous case, we used indexes, index value to identify array elements, index values. But here in associative array, we are using keys. The keys are underlined user-defined keys. User-defined keys. Index are what? Predefined index. Indices created by predefined. Indices are what? Predefined. But here, keys in associative array, to denote the array element, we use keys which are user-defined. Keys? User-definable keys, we can say. Okay. Now, when you use this, when you identify the array elements using keys, now by seeing this key, you can say, okay, user means some name will come, Joe. Okay. Age is a key. by using this key, you can easily say, okay, some number would be the value. Yes, 24 is the value. 24 is the element of the age key. Okay, now height. You can easily say, okay, this denotes some height of a something, person or something. So 70 inches. So some meaningful, instead of giving 0, 1, 2, 3, you are giving some meaningful what? Meaningful keys to identify each and every array elements. This is called associative array. So now like this also you can define the array. So there are 4 ways to define the array, including associative array. Okay, now look at this example. Now this is a different data type. Here this is string, integer, and then this is char. So different data elements we can use in associative array. How will you pick up the values, or how will you print the values, elements of the associative array? Document.write, as usual, object name. In the previous case, what you have written here, array name of or object name of within the square bracket, you have written index value 0, 1, 2, 3 to identify the respective element. But here you are using key. Using key. Students, remember, when you print the array element, you have to use key. You should not use element itself. Okay. So that you have to remember, because commonly this will be a mistake made by the students. Okay. So instead of index, you are identifying the array element using the key which you have created. Okay. So user. Now what will be the output of this? Document.write Joe. Okay, now here Joe will be displayed. Joe is, again you are concatenating, because now this is, one second, this is the statement which will identify the array elements. Now you identified what you identified using this Joe. Okay, then you want to concatenate some string. So plus you put, and as it is string, you are writing this within double quotes. Yes. So Joe is, again you are concatenating something else. What is that? My array of age. That is, this is replaced by 24. Okay. So Joe is 24 plus again string, years old. Okay, for first document.write, I will get output Joe is 24 years old. Okay, Joe is 24 years old. Okay, so this is the output I will get. In the next statement, document.write my array user, that means object name keyword. This will again replace Joe. Again, yes, Joe is 70 inches tall. Okay. Second output in the second line, next line you will get Joe is 70-inch tall. Okay. You should remember which, when you use the associative array, which type of bracket you are using. Okay, that is important. All these we studied to use the methods of array object. Okay, directly we can't use the methods of array object, inbuilt methods of array object. For that, you should know what is array, what and all, how and all the array can be created in JavaScript. Okay, that is what we saw now. Next, we have to see the methods. Now we created the array object. Now what are the methods we can possibly use with the array object? Okay, that we will discuss in the next lecture. Now take half an hour break, and exactly 2 o'clock, batch 2 will have practical.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.